This is probably video number 5 or 6, I don't know. But anyways, I'm very excited. And the reason is that you are watching. I know I just started out, but you're watching. If I see one viewer, that's like, that's crazy. That means there's one person tuning into these videos. I'm just so happy, so thankful to whoever you are. If you're new here, I'm KJ, a brand strategist. I'm building in public. Look at my banner. It says building in public. And we're going to be talking about that. We're going to be talking about building in public. But before that, if you're new here, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and most importantly, comment on this video. All right, cool. So let's dive in. Today's video, I want to talk about regret, and I want to talk about building in public. I was looking on LinkedIn, just going through my LinkedIn, and I saw someone post. I could care less what the post was about. My attention was locked into their headline. Their headline said something that I believed in. It's as follows: learning LinkedIn in public. That's what it was about. Learning LinkedIn in public. And I was like, man, that is so bold. Like, of course I have that in my banner. I believe that. But for someone just to have that in their LinkedIn saying, hey, I really don't know a lot about LinkedIn, I'm learning in public. It's a strong mind, a strong mentality. So hats off, like I commented saying, love your header, hats off to you. So building in public, what does that mean? What does that mean for you? What does that mean for me? If you're sitting there thinking, hey, you know what, I want to do this and that, but I don't know how to do it yet, or I'm not good enough. That's something that I had. Like, I just felt like I wasn't good enough, capable yet. And oftentimes we humans, we want to be like there. We want to be there before we show the process. Like, we don't want to show the process. We want to stand on stage, hold that gold medal and be like, this is it. I won. I achieved this and that. But that's not the way it works. In reality, the grind is everything that people want to know about. So on this YouTube journey, why are you watching this video? It's because you're seeing someone, you're watching my behind the scenes. You're watching and seeing someone who doesn't have it all figured out, someone who's learning, someone who's making mistakes, someone who's stumbling over their words. You're seeing someone actually building in public. And that's what I'm doing, building in public. And people love that. Like, why are you watching this? It's because you like to see, you know, how it's going. And I tune into videos like that too. I don't watch polished videos. I watch videos of people that, you know, talk about their failures, talk about things that are not going so well, talk about things that they're learning. And that is very, very important. And why I'm pressing that on your heart today is because I know that there are a lot of founders out there, or a lot of people out there who really want to start something. And like me, like I procrastinate. I've mentioned it maybe 1,000 times now. 2024, I tried YouTube. 2025, I tried YouTube. 2024, I was legit busy. 2025, I was legit lazy. And now it's 2026. And I just went with that. Hormozy talk about this at one of his many quotes, but he just said, if you want to do something, basically eliminate any other option. So if there's something that you want to do, you want to achieve, do it. And whatever is in your way of not doing it, eliminate it. For example, say you want to build your body, you want to go to the gym, you want to get a nice body. If you're not going to the gym, it means there's something blocking you from going to the gym, whether that is transportation, whether that is just, you know, habit, motivation, whatever that is. Maybe more sleep. A lot of people, they prefer their sleep over the gym. He says eliminate that. So that's what I am doing with this channel. I am basically taking away, removing every option there is for me not to make videos. And for me to do that, and that's something personally, I have to do it every day. Like, I can't do the 1-3-1 or the 2-1-2. I can't do it every other day. I just have to do anything I do every day. For example, the gym, religiously, 6 days a week. On the Saturday, I don't go to the gym on no religious reason, but on the Saturday I write. So I write, I go into my creative process. But for creating videos, Now I'm like, I'm gonna do that every day. Even on Saturday, I'm gonna put out a video. Why? I want to build the muscle, I want to learn, and I'm taking you on this journey. And you know now, I'm building in public. Like, I pretty much suck at this right now. But after 100 videos, 200 videos, I might be, a bit better. It might look better. And I can't wait for that day to look back on those videos and like really cringe, like, oh, my voice, oh, the way I spoke, the way I'm using my hands. I can't wait for those things. So I went on a rant. I went on a rant, but basically what I saw in her headline was just like, okay, that's my inspiration for this video. As you know, I have like my notes, things that I don't want to forget, but when you're building in public, there is no shame in it. It's something that's strong. It's also something worth mentioning. Some people, they're scared to say, hey, I'm building in public because they don't feel professional enough, or they feel like they're a student. It's good to be a student of life, and it's good to show that vulnerability. So, create a profile. Maybe you, like me, you want to make YouTube videos, then just start out and just tell people, hey, I want to teach this and that on YouTube. I don't know it very well, and I'm learning. And you might pick up a book. Well, this is just a random book, but you might pick up a book and say, you might read something and say, hey, I learned this today from this and that book, and let me talk about it on this video. That's a simple way to do it. And just learn in public and make mistakes and fail and learn from the mistakes. Last video, I told you that someone said, what if you had 5 fails? If you knew you had 5 fails before you achieved your goal, how fast would you want to fail? And that's just how I feel. Like, all these videos I'm making, it's just to speed up the process of failing, like really falling flat on my face and failing. Everyone had to start somewhere. I wrote that down right here. If you're starting out fresh and you're building in public, whatever it is, know that everybody that you look up to, it could be, for me, it could be like the Hormozis, Stephen Bartlett, Daniel Priestley, all these self-made online people that we see all over our feed. They had to start somewhere, right? They had to start somewhere. They had to start at zero. They all started with 0 followers, all of them. That being said, you and I have to start somewhere. For me, this is video number maybe 5 or 6. I have a long way to go, but I too have to start somewhere. Right now, I have 14 subscribers on this channel, which in 13 of those 14 subscribers, I don't know how they subscribed. I have no idea. But anyways, I'm not even close to having this channel monetized. And that's not the goal. The goal for me right now is to add value to you in positioning and branding and everything. And I'm going a bit off topic today because what that person said inspired me to think about positioning. You don't always have to position yourself as the know-it-all. Like, I position myself as a thought leader in positioning because I've been doing this for 15 plus years. But on YouTube, I position myself as, yo, I do not know what I'm doing. Look at my banner. Building in public, don't know what I'm doing. That's how I position myself on YouTube. So yes, I'm a thought leader in positioning. I'm approachable person to talk about positioning. So those are my 2 things. But on YouTube, the platform, I have no clue what I'm doing. I can learn from anyone. So it's good to position, like, know what you want to become, but also know who you are. And I think that's a very, very important. So in positioning yourself on this platform, on anywhere, don't be ashamed to say you're learning or you do not know. And I've heard someone ask this question before. Wait, see, I'm very unprofessional. I have my water bottle under my table and I'm gonna take a sip because my mouth is a little bit dry. Yeah, I'm gonna put the water bottle right there. So someone said, a couple of days ago, I was on a webinar and someone said, let me think about how they frame the question. They were talking about building and doing something. So there was this guy and he was talking to the host of the webinar. Oh, sorry. He was talking to the host of the webinar, and he was basically saying that he is a professional or expert in some space, and he wanted to do something on a platform. I believe it was LinkedIn. It probably was LinkedIn because the webinar was about, growing on LinkedIn. And he doesn't know how to start. He had very few followers. He didn't know how to start. And the host pretty much told him, like, document your day. So document each day and post that. Take a picture of you. Right now, for example, this is just an example. Say the guy wanted to write a book. He could pretty much take his phone, take a picture. Now I'm, structuring the book. Or now I'm writing chapter 1. Or now I am looking for inspiration, going through other books for inspiration, right? You can do anything. And the process is often stronger. When you're there, it's not that strong, but how you got there, that is very strong. I'll give you an example, a practical example of Dochi. You probably know her, Dochi. Now, you know her now. Let me see. I think I had the tab open. Yeah, so Dochi, I'll clip this in the video, what I'm looking at. But I first saw her on YouTube, even before she was famous. I didn't even know she was famous. I saw her on YouTube just posting videos, and I was probably watching her older videos. And then one day I just saw the headline in the news, I believe it was in the feed, saying that she won some type of Grammys or whatever. And I was like, isn't this that girl I saw on the YouTube videos, like the grainy, long time ago YouTube videos? And the reason I watched her was because I saw someone hustling, someone grinding, someone showing up, someone being, vulnerable, speaking her heart, sharing her emotions, and just going through that whole process, intimate process with the viewer. And I was like, wow, the way she creates videos, that's something that I would want to do someday. And then I just saw her on like Grammys and just, all that. And today, you know who Dochi is, the alligator queen or whatever. She is up there, she's up top, but she had to start somewhere. And I'm not saying we should all strive to become Dochi, but I'm just saying that the platforms, people, not the platforms, people are interested in who you are, like what separates you. And people nowadays, and I'm in the branding world, so I know people want to get behind the scenes. They want to know basically where you live, like almost not, they want to know your bank account number. That's going a bit too far, but they just want to know your whole vibe. They want to know who they're talking to. And all this is to build trust. So you see a lot of founders nowadays on LinkedIn, they're just sharing personal stories, talking about their failure rather than their success. Because the thing with success is not everyone can relate to success. For example, say that Stephen Bartlett, or maybe Stephen is a bad example because he doesn't really boast, but just think of someone that has a lot of money and shows it. They could be like, hey, look at my golden toilet, or look at my Lamborghini, or look at my whatever. And you on the other side, or me on the other side, I'm like, I can't relate to that because that is something out of my reach. Even if they would like be teaching me how to get that Lamborghini or whatever, I can't relate because it's just so far off. They're just so far ahead in their knowledge. To them, it seems like, second nature, kind of, so obvious. But to me, listening as the viewer who is like way down here, I can't understand this. But when a founder goes back down to where they started and they tell their failures, oh, I started my first company selling blank t-shirts. I knew nothing about how to sell blank t-shirts. So I lost a lot of my investments and I had to start all over again. See, that's what people can relate to. And why am I telling you this? I'm going to bring this all back together. When you show your process, people can understand, hey, This guy's making YouTube videos and he has no idea what he's talking about. He has following no script. His videos are not so cool edited. He has no structure. He's just mumbling on. Okay, this guy's still learning, and you see the process, and maybe 100, like I said, 200, 300 videos in, you can see a change. And then you remember, oh, because you were with me on that journey, you're like, hey, that's, I remember him back in the days when he just started out making videos. And that is what people can relate. You can relate to this, because this is just a guy. I'm just sitting here. I have 2 lamps set up right here. My back is against the wall. I have my laptop right here. It just has Doji on the screen right now. And I have my notepad. Just not to read off, because I do everything from the top of my dome, but just to remember what I wanted to talk about, certain pointers. And right now, I'm just talking about building in public. My greatest fear, I started out this video saying my greatest fear is the fear of regret. Someone said, let me read it. Yeah, someone said, and I had to, reply to that. Someone said, you're never too late to start. I disagree completely. When someone mentions that, I know it sounds cool, like you can start anytime. You are never too late to start. That's just nonsense. Let me give you a little backstory. So I go to the gym in the morning, and every morning, like I mentioned, and there's this guy, he works out 3 times a week, Monday, Wednesday, Friday. Cool guy. Peter is his name, man. I just love talking to him because he's up there in age, he's over the 80. And I believe he was born during the Second World War. He was telling me about how it was, yada, yada, but just very interesting to talk to him. And, just talking about his regrets in life and things that he wished he could do. And there are a lot of things that he has done, but also things that he hasn't done. And physically, his body, right now, he's not in that physical shape to do it. This story is to tell you or explain to you that there are things that we can do now. If you're my age or you're younger or you're older, there are things that your body, my body can do now that when you reach a certain age, you cannot, or you're limited. So the time that we have when we can do these things, that's the time. So maybe if you're 20, you're in your 20s now and you're listening, you have no baggage, no kids, no house to pay for, no this, no that. You can do everything, and you should do everything. Maybe you're listening and you're in your 40s, 50s. You're still functional. You can still function. You can still do this. You can still do certain things. Then you should do that. But what if you're in your 80s, 90s? The people always quote this: "It's never too late to start." If you're in your 80s, 90s, you cannot function. Right? Your body, you cannot function. You're in a wheelchair or whatever, and say you want to start running a marathon. Is that possible? No. Like, if we're real, it's sad, but it's not possible. So there is a limit to the time that you have to start. Right? That saying that says it's never late to start, that's just a bunch of crap. Excuse my language. So there is a time where you're limited to a time. My greatest fear is regretting not using that time. So that's why today, I don't want to end on a downer note. I want to end positive and strong. Use your time wisely. Build in public. Do not fear what people say. Do not be afraid of being judged. That cringiness. I mean, everything that you're doing and you're starting out will be awkward, will feel cringe, will feel uncomfortable, but it's the price we pay to get there. Like, I feel cringe all the time on these videos. I feel cringe all the time. I don't care about videos. Like I said, I don't care about the camera, but it feels weird just to stare here, sit, and you have to switch that mindset. Like, I'm not talking to myself, I'm talking to people that are there when they're watching it. So you just have to reframe your mind so it becomes less cringe. But if I can leave you with a message today, man, in this video, it's just not fearing, not being scared, and making sure that at the end of the race, you have no regrets whatsoever. Okay, we're gonna end this video. Thank you for watching. Go out, be creative, start building, build in public. Don't be afraid. Be you, do you, and I'll see you tomorrow. Peace.